going into my basketball. Every time I rock, man, this is how we rap and raw. Peace to my man. Now we got the camera out. Every time I spit it, cross over the.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Josh, also known as Yashu, down with episode 69 of the TLOY podcast. You know, you're going to get this like everywhere and all that. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Buzzsprout, much more and all that. You know, it's more to say and all that. So definitely tap in. Episode 70 coming soon and all that, you know, in the works. Like, it's just going to be on the way. But like right now we're at 69. So, so we actually have returning guests back and all that for his first ever like tell-all like interview and all that. You know, we've had him last time with like Macadelic and all that too, but now we have 6CHIILD like back on the pod and all that to share his own story and his own journey in music and all that. So man, welcome back.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much for having me, brother.
Yeah, appreciate man. And like, you know, like I was like tapping in with the music for a bit, like after like the interview and all that we had like last time with like Macadelic, and you know, I kind of like it. You know, like it kind of had like a very like it kind of reminded me of like, you know, like old school like Tory Lanez like in a bit and all that, you know. So I wanted to ask, like, was that like a comparison that everyone like kind of like noticed in a way too?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been since I started my career, I've been getting those comparisons with Tory Lanez, but I'm not gonna lie to you. That's been one of my like inspirations. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like his story and shit, everything, his guideline, all that stuff. So, yeah. I don't know. I probably got a little bit from him. So, you know.
Nah, 100% too. And like I know, like with Tory Lanez, like he's like probably like one of the most like unique like artists in the game right now. Not gonna really say like on a situation right now, but like hopefully he is like doing well.
Free Daystar, man.
Yeah, man.
Free Daystar.
But yeah, I mean, like he's been like legendary too with like Chickstape, with like the albums and all that, like with the 80s project like Alone at Prom and all that. So it's definitely amazing to see like how it has like translated with like other artists too and all that, and like how they're sounding. Yeah, nah, for sure, man. And you know, we're gonna get into your story for a bit too to kind of get your own journey in a bit too. So, you know, like where did you grow up in Scarborough? Like you were like born in.
Yeah, I grew up in Scarborough, like in a town where I'm not gonna really say the name because like, you know what I mean, like those guys kind of, you know what I mean. But yeah, if you know, but like I came, it's more of like a trenchy upbringing, you know what I mean. Yeah. So it's like. Yeah, that's kind of.
But what was like growing up at Scarborough, like, you know, like in the late 90s, like early 2000s? So like, would you say it was like very blessed?
I'm not gonna lie, rough. I'm not gonna lie, we were kind of blessed enough to have like, you know, my mom to like do a lot first, but same time just the upbringing, like just environment that we grew up in was a little rough. You know what I mean? Seeing a lot of like shootings or like killings or all that stuff or robberies, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So growing up in that environment, kind of like you have to make a decision if you want to do it or you want to just walk away from it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100% too. And like I know like with Scarborough back then, like a lot of it was like known like with like ball and all that, with music, like, you know, even with the whole like Scarborough like shooting stars and all that.
Yeah.
With the dance scene like in Scarborough, like there were like dance crews and all that, DJ scenes, like I think like even like with a lot of rappers like coming up and all that, like with like Daniel and like Maestro, and then it even led to like other like artists like in the game and all that, and like there's like more to name, but like in a sense too, like was it like big for music like growing up at that time?
Yeah, it was, to be honest. Like I have a family that's been to music a lot. Like everybody does music, you know, in their own sense. So music always been there. So even back in those days, I was like just writing music or just, you know what I mean, just doing that.
Yeah, 100% too, man. And you know, like growing up, like what were you like growing up from like the start until like now in that sense?
Fuck, wild. I was thought I was wild. I don't really think so. I just think I was just having fun as a kid, but like just enjoying life. You know what I mean? As a kid, just. Either if it's accidentally getting in trouble or like cutting up yourself or, you know what I mean, getting hurt or whatnot. But just enjoying life as a kid though, you know?
True. Yeah. And like, I mean, just like the typical life, was it like mainly like jams and all that? Like, you know, like playing like hoops?
Yeah, like more just outside, just fucking around. Fucking around the hood. Like, you know what I mean? Just that's what it was like as a childhood.
For sure, man. And what was like your first like introduction to like music in a way and all that? And like, what were like some artists or genres like that you like grew up like listening to and all that?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of like started to really take my music thing like seriously, like in like maybe 2018. I was kind of like, I didn't want people to know what I'm talking about, or I was worried about what they're thinking. But it's like the people that actually kind of busted out for me the doors was like, as I said, Tory, you know, Drake, you know what I mean, The Weeknd. I mean, even to like the people that they don't really count as even to like, you know, Bieber. I give it to Justin Bieber too. Like I give it to him, like that guy. You know what I'm saying? He really busted and really broke some chambers. You know what I'm saying? Like even to like the other guys and stuff. But like those guys really like actually give me an influence to actually, you know what I mean? Carry the story as well. Like, so.
Ah, true. So I'm guessing it's like more like Canadian artists, like
Yeah,
you're
for
like
sure.
more tapped in with.
I'm more tapped into my Canadian artists before the American artists. I have to,
True.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, with Canadian artists too, like I feel like there have been like a lot of artists like that kind of like paved the way, and like others that we didn't know like that were like Canadian and all that, like
Yeah.
like Sum 41 and all that. Who else? Like Arcade Fire.
Yeah,
like,
even those old guys from in the back
Yeah.
days, like, you know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, man. Nah, for sure. And yo, how did you get into making music and all that?
So honestly, basically, I've always been like into music. My first song I ever wrote when I was like 7 years old, it was a Christmas song.
Ah, true.
And it was because like I felt away because all my brothers were like, you know, recording or whatever, and I didn't get to record. So I'm just like, you know what, let me just go write my own little song. I made a little Christmas song. I read it to myself, sang it to myself, and it was just there. And from there, I'm like, all right, let me just keep writing music. And, you know, yeah.
For sure, man. Yeah, I mean, with Christmas music, it's like kind of like a rarity, like in a sense.
It was kind of an off guard thing, but like, it was in the moment. It was Christmas
true.
times. I'm like, let me just write a Christmas song, like, you know.
True.
Yeah.
And I guess like your first time like in the studio, like what was it like at that time and all that, you know?
Okay, I do remember the first time in the studio, I was nervous as hell. I was like, yo, like, how am I gonna place certain things? How am I gonna really do this? Once I made the song though, everything came out and I heard it perfectly. I was like, yo, I could really do this shit. And I could really do it. I knew I could do it, but it's like I didn't have the gut to do it, you know?
True.
Yeah.
And I guess you were like there for like what, like some hours in a bit too, like trying to like cook up something or like
Yeah, no. Like more times, to be honest, I used to go to the studio and just 20 minutes, I'll lay out something quick.
Yeah.
But I started to kind of like take my time with it because I want to actually build a storyline in it
Yeah.
instead of just making something, you know?
Nah, for sure. Because like, you know, like even being in that studio too with like the producer, like engineer and all that too, like they do kind of like guide you like in a way to lead you like to be successful like in a certain way too, like to give like some points on like how to like really blow and all that. Because like I feel like they are like the secret like A&Rs to like building like an artist like sound like in a way and all that.
For sure. I have one of the best, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say anything like that, but like I have one of the best ones in the city. Like, and he's actually, I'm doing this thing. Actually, I'll probably say his name is Jude Terminal 16. Yeah, he's I'm not gonna lie, he's very underrated. Like a lot of people should really tap into him. You know what I mean? He's doing his big one and stuff, and it's like I've been working with him for a lot of years, probably since my whole career, to be honest. And he knows my sound, he knows everything. So it's like that's one of the guys I kind of work with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely like rate that in a way and all that. And you know, to get like, I know like with your musical background and history, you kind of like explained it like briefly and all that. Like you've had like family like that kind of like dabbled into music and all that. But have you had like friends or like anyone else that kind of like were like around like music at that time, like producers or like other artists and all that? Or?
To be honest, not really. To be honest, like my little sir, I didn't really have friends that was in music like that. They always be rapping and stuff, but I no one really took it seriously. You know what I mean? But I had actually one of my friends actually. I kind of told him like, yo, like brother, like, you could sing or you could rap or you could create. He's actually not here right now. He's supposed to come with me, but his name is Dizzle. So like he's on some like we actually make some projects together and stuff. But yeah, like so he was making music and I said, yo brother, like let's just, you know what I mean, work together and let's make some music and whatnot. So out of the group, there's only one guy that was kind of making music and stuff, you know what I mean?
For sure, man. And you know, what inspired you to like even become like an artist and like even like taking that craft seriously and all that?
My talent, you know. I knew I had this talent and stuff. I didn't want it to go to waste. I seen a big future in my life and stuff. And just, you know, I felt like I could break the boundaries and stuff, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, let me just go for it. And it's kind of something I really love, to be honest. Like music is a real piece for me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% too. And, you know, what was like that certain point that kind of led you into knowing like, hey, like this is like it for me and all that? Like that's that point where, you know, I'm definitely going to make it either way and all that.
When I started to get freaking notices, like, you know, some people would say, yo, Romy, yo, 6, yo, this is hard. Yo, 6 is hard. Yo, I showed somebody that's in like a higher bracket in a sense, and they're like, yo, this is crazy. Keep going. So those kind of motivations from people were kind of, you know what I mean, pushing me as well and shit.
Yeah, no, 100% too and all that. And like, you know, like even in a way too, like, I know you already talked about like your influences and all that with Drake, Tory, everyone else too and all that. But, you know, who'd you like to like work with someday and all that?
I'm not gonna lie. If I was one,
like any artist, you know, like
any artist, I would like to work with Rod Wave, Friday, Party Next Door. That's one of my biggest dogs too. Like, Party's really sick. I work with Party. I work with, I mean, just anybody that's like in that genre of like, you know, just real music. You know what I mean? There's definition of music that will last, but there's real music that will last forever. Like there's that really is really solid. You know what I mean? So
Nah,
those guys I'll work with for sure.
nah,
Yeah.
100% too and all that. And I mean, Friday's like hard and all that, like Rod Wave, like
Yeah,
he's
all
been
those
in, like,
guys. It's hard,
yeah, man, 100% too, man.
hard,
And
hard.
yeah,
It's real music. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
R&B and all that, for sure. And like I know with some people too, like a lot of people like kind of like listen to your music for the first time, like they're trying to like figure out like that unique sound and all that, whether it's like
Mhm.
R&B or hip hop and all that. But like, how do you define like your music in a way? Is it like kind of like more R&B ish with a twist of rap, or is it like kind of like different?
No, I would say it is an R&B twisted rap. It's kind of more like that. You would say that Tory style, like he would
True.
come in and sing and then rap. All of a sudden, you know what I mean? Then back to singing melodies and stuff. That's kind of what I built on. And it's like I feel like I did that because I used to honestly fall asleep to Tory Lanez in the studio. I'll search up his live in the studio and listen to it, how he broadcasts certain things, how he puts things in place, or you know what I mean, not just him, just any other artist or whatnot. Just so I feel like I got a lot of styles from them, you know what I mean, and whatnot. So I feel like I'm in an R&B bracket morally, you know.
Nah, 100% too, man. And I want to get like more into your creative process, like in a way and all that. So like, what's your creative process, even like when making music, and like what would like a day like in the studio be like for you?
Fuck. Honestly, three things: silence, music, and spliff. Some weed, and I'm good to go. Like honestly, but I'll just say like like I just need to be just focused. No, I don't really like the crowd in the studio. I just rather myself and just focus. So that's the main thing. Like,
Nah,
can't do anything else. You know what I mean?
nah,
Just
100% too,
focus.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you like do like more like the spliffs, or like do you also like do like licks as well and all that, or
Say again?
like do you also do like only spliffs or just like licks as well too and all
Nah,
that?
nah. Sometimes I'd be sipping one too, but I'm not really a drinker. I smoke weed. Like
Oh,
I'm
true.
not really a drinker. Yeah, I don't really drink like that.
Nah,
To
for
be
sure,
honest, you
man.
know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And like when it's like listening to like Life of a Sixth Child and all that, it is like very unique in a way with like the cover art and like everything else too and all that.
Yeah.
But I want to get like your like interpretation like on that project, like like what was like that creative process and inspiration for that?
So basically, that one was basically me trying to explain to the people out there like who 6CHIILD is, how he came apart, and just also like his story. You know, it was kind of like a quick album. Actually, the album was actually rushed. Actually, I felt like it was rushed, but it still came out successful though, and it still gave some answers. You know what I mean?
Nah, for sure.
Stuff.
Nah, I'm gonna correct myself on that. It's actually Birth of a Sixth Child.
Birth of 6CHIILD, but don't worry, Life of 6CHIILD is still that's still goated, eh?
Yeah.
That's still good. I actually like that too. Maybe I might make a part 2, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe
So
in that
Life of
sense.
6CHIILD.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Nah,
like
for
that.
sure. Nah, 100% too, man. And like you've had like a lot of other singles too and all that, like Stop Guessing,
Yeah.
like 1999, like Blue Jeans, like Pressure and all that. I feel like with
Yeah.
Pressure, it's like one of your recent ones and all that. And I've noticed like the whole like energy and style with that and all that.
Yeah.
And I want to figure out like that creative process and inspiration for those tracks as well.
Honestly, to be honest, with Pressure, fuck. I think it was a angry day for me. I was angry. I think I said, yo, let me go to the studio. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. I said, let me just go to the studio. And I just made something off my head. I said, yeah, like, hey, what's the pressure, dog? You know what I mean? Just kept going. Blue Jeans, that was a whole different situation. You know what I mean? That was out of relationship, whatnot. Fucking Stop Guessing. Like all these different things are kind of like moments of my life. You know what I mean? So like every song that I make is kind of like really a moment in my life, what happened or is going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nah, 100% too, man. And like when like those like songs and like projects like release with with Birth of 6CHIILD, Blue Jeans, like 1999, like
Yeah.
Stop Guessing, Pressure and all that. Like what was like that whole like reception like and all that?
good, to be honest. It was good. I was kind of nervous. I thought it was going to be best. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was going to get the reactions that it did. But I feel like every newer song that I put out is kind of more of a smash, you know what I mean? Or more of an audience and stuff that I gravitate to.
How did you manage to meet Macadelic
Macadelic?
and have him as like your manager and like main videographer? And how was it like, like working with him from the start until now?
Honestly, I met Macadelic in 2018 is when I did my first ever video. And we just built a big relationship from there. I stopped working with him, like not as in I just stopped working with him, like didn't like him. We just stopped working together. I started to broadcast and explore different type of, videographers in the city and whatnot. And then I know something decided me, like, let me just go back to Macadelic and see what he's doing with. And honestly, that was the best decision I made so far, to be honest. Every video he did for me was beautiful. There's a video indecisive that I didn't even want him to drop. I said, yo, Mac, fuck this video. he said, no, it's good. I'm not gonna lie, that video got more reactions than Blue Jeans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like he knows what he's doing sometimes, and that's why I give him his credit. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure, and all
For
that.
sure.
And I know, like in some situations too, like even like when you tend to work, like if you tend to like work with other people and all that, like when they see like you're only tied in with like one person, were there ever like any like like heads like butting in like at times?
No, and I hope not, because at the end of the day, like you know what I mean, everybody has their just personal whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like if I was to go hit up a next videographer, I hope they don't get mad because I'm working with Mac like Morley or whatever. I hope they understand that it's just business at the end of the day, right? Yeah, it's all about business. So
yeah, like no, I know what you mean, because I know like in some situations too, like there's like videographers that work with like certain artists and like other artists like don't agree, like and all that type of stuff and all that, and like it's even like same with like artists like working with videographers and all that, like it's like tensions and all that, but like knowing it's like not like that for you, it's like pretty interesting in a way and all that.
Yeah, no, it's all about business, and I feel like everybody in the city should just work together. Yo, if we work together in the city, even if these videographers or broadcasters or podcasts, whatever, yo, man, we can make something big over here. Like
yeah, exactly, man.
Everybody just in a competition, So it's like
Hundo P, man. And what were like some things that you've learned from him in terms of like how to be successful like in the music industry and like how to even like move like in the scene and all that?
Biggest thing I learned from Mac was consistency. He told me that consistency thing, and that just stuck into my head. I always call him, we always chat. Like sometimes I call him and it's not even really about music. It's just, Mac, you're good. All right, bet. All right, what's going on? Da, 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 da. All right, then what can we do about the music? I mean, so like, honestly, consistency and just staying focused on the music. Like that's what he just preaches to me all the time.
100% too, man. And with TikTok right now, like this is like an interesting topic that we have right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the main hubs for artists that become like sort of successful off a hit song, due to like the amount of like dances and all that type of stuff and all that. So I want to ask you this question: do you feel like finding a way to make your music go viral on TikTok is either like a fair or a creative or an effective marketing strategy proposal for artists to use, or does it like diminish like the artistry and all that?
To be honest, if I'm making my personal real opinion, I just feel like, I'm not gonna lie, like the day and age just changed real bad. Like even social media, that shit changed. So it's like the guys that's already in the industry that's up there that had a chance to not use them platforms and still be able to bust without them. I feel like, it's not really fair to them how hard they had to work. But also same sense, it's kind of good because it gives artists a bigger like worldwide broadcasting. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of a 50-50 for me. Like, so I wouldn't bash it, but I wouldn't hate it as well. Like,
like it kind of like depends like on the audience and all that.
Yeah, like no, it doesn't even depend on that. It's just fucked. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate the fact it is, but I wouldn't also love it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't really go out my way to go use that, to be honest.
Yeah, 100% too and all that. And like even with AI and all that, like you've seen like some AI like like reels and all that where like the whole like Drake and Weeknd song and all that, and like some other stuff too and all that. Even with the whole like Kanye like vocals like in like some rapper song and all that. How do you even like feel about that? Making its way to play a part like in the music scene and recreating like actual vocals to make certain songs and the use of like ChatGPT for like songwriting. Like how do you feel about that?
I'm not gonna lie, like I said, like the day and age has changed. Everything has changed. Like there's so much new ticks and tacks you could do right now to make a fucking song. But it's like, is that really the real thing? So it's like, I personally I don't know, like I personally don't really like it, to be honest. I'd rather just use a real deal as in your real voice. When you go on stage one time, you gotta do all that tricks and tacks in your voices. You can really do it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't really.
I mean, with ChatGPT, like, like they can find like effective ways, like with writing and all that. Like some do it for like recipes and all that. I feel like it would take time for songwriting too, because you have to have the emotion for it and all that. And to
for sure.
Kind of find like the whole like energy and like vibration for it. Like whereas with ChatGPT, it'll be something that they'll write, but like it wouldn't have like that emotion in that sense and all that. Know what you mean and all that. And like we already talked about like social media for a bit too, so I'm gonna kind of like dead that topic. But do you have any like favorite like TV shows, movies, books, podcasts, stuff like that?
For TV shows, shit, I don't really watch TV. To be honest, if I'm watching TV, it's maybe sports. I don't even watch sports. Really. I like to watch like just concerts or shows or stuff. Books, Diary of the Wimpy Kid, one of my childhood books. Every one of them I watched every one of them and read every one of them. Like, yeah, those stuff, and it's pretty much it.
Nah, nah,
It's more of a music head, you know. I do music a lot. I love music.
yeah, nah, for sure. I mean, there are like some good like movie biopics with like music and all that. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, Notorious, like that was like a good movie and all
Oh
that.
yeah, Notorious B.I.G. I seen for sure. I seen
What
watched
else?
it 10 times.
I don't know if you've seen like All Eyes on Me and all that. Like I heard like it had like some mixed reviews and all that too. But I feel like, you know, some people do go back to like watching it and all that. There's like the whole like Little Richard movie like that happened like a long time ago and all that. And, like some stuff here and there. I mean, Straight Outta Compton and all that. So
I watched all those. I kind of actually watched those to kind of like kind of reflected on my story a little bit. Like anything that I see that's in those movies that I've ever seen in my life, I kind of would say, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's kind of really it.
Nah. Interesting too. Yeah, we just have like these like few topics for a bit too and all that. Yo, I think we already talked about it like a little bit too and all that, but like in your actual opinion, like how do you even like feel about the whole like Toronto GTA music scene? And do you feel like that there should be some changes on how like the scene should go to, or do you feel like it's fine the way it is and all that?
Like as in like just how everything looking in the city and shit.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Honestly, right. I'm not really tapped into it too much. I don't really focus on the guys in the city. Cool. A big ups to everybody in the city though. To be honest, like everyone's doing their thing. You know what I mean? My best advice to everybody though is just like, yo, just if you have that talent, honestly, like if you have that talent, bro, don't put it to waste. Cause like just doing all this raggedy shit and then going to broadcasting your music, yo, you don't think? You know what I mean? You're just getting yourself into worse problems. So it's like,
I got you.
personally, right now, everyone in the city is doing good. I would say that in the music thing, everyone's doing good, but it's just like move smart with it, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm saying too. Yo, and do you ever have like any regrets in life or not really?
My biggest regrets is just one biggest regret is just not having patience when I needed them back then in those days. You know what I mean? Like fucking learning patience. I learned that thing. I even got a tattoo on my neck, like just because that really helped me out in life. You know what I mean? So that's the only one.
Yeah, man.
But
I was like noticing like the tattoos for a bit. Like they seem like very nice with the king, like the crown and all that, with the 6 child and all that,
with the stars,
and
stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
I low-key want to ask, like, how did you even like get that stage name and all that?
To be honest, 6CHIILD is not even really a stage name. A lot of people think it's a stage name, to be honest, and I don't really care that because my mom has 8 kids, and I was born number 6. So basically, I kind of like just grew out that name in like 2018 and stuff. Just like, and I'm kind of so 6CHIILD, 6.
True.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my real names, to be honest.
If
it's not in the birth certificate, it's just still me though. You know?
True.
Yeah.
100% too. Yo, I don't know if I've asked this like in the last one, but did I ask the free songs that we'd recommend for people to tap in?
No. Yeah, you did, I think, but I don't think I mentioned it. But I would say like to tap right now, there's some stuff that I didn't release yet, but I'm going to release soon. It'll be actually called Time Running. That one got referred actually and related to like a Party Next Door type vibe, you know what I mean? Time Running, I would say it's still tapping the Blue Jeans and just Birth of 6CHIILD. Like that album has a lot of good music on there, you know what I mean? That hasn't been really heard that much and stuff, you know?
100% too and all that. And as far as like features and all that, have you managed to work with like any artists like on collabs like coming soon and all that, or like?
Not yet, to be honest. Like I kind of like like I don't know, like I don't really like to work. Like it's not like that I don't like to work with nobody. It's just that like you gotta kind of be careful who you work with.
Yeah, I know.
If I'm gonna keep it real with you, you gotta be careful who you work with.
All right.
And I would work with a lot of artists in the city, but like
just like stuff. No, I got you.
I'm on some serious business. Like honestly, like I want this music shit to really tell its truth. You know what I mean? I don't want to be making music and people are talking about things like that's gonna come drive me out. No, like you know what I mean? Like
yeah, I got you. And yo, do you have any closing remarks you'd like to say and all that?
Honestly, just be aware. I'm gonna drop some new music. Time Running is probably gonna be the first one to drop. Probably do another video, Macadelic, and just appreciate you guys for having me and stuff.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Nah, 6CHIILD. You know, it was dope to have you on again and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
To share your story, like to even like get like the whole like backstory on like a lot of stuff and all that too.
Yeah,
and
no, for sure. I really
definitely have like more soon and all that to see like the growth and everything like that and all that. And yo, this is Josh, also known as Yashu, episode 69 of TLOY Talks. You're gonna get this on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Buzzsprout, much more and all that. And yo, definitely tap in. Definitely tap in for other episodes coming soon and all that. And you know, like that's all I'm gonna say right now. Josh, also known as Yashu, Sixth Child, Birth of Sixth Child. I actually got it correct this time. It's not Birth of Sixth Child, Birth of
Don't worry,
Sixth
but we're
Child.
gonna have an album soon called Life
Yeah.
of 6CHIILD, though.
Yeah.
Because I actually like that, though.
Yeah, man.
I really do like
Yeah,
that.
get that on all platforms and all that. But yeah, either way, man. Yo, episode 69, TLOY Talk signing off and all that.
Appreciate it.